One of the most important factors to the success of the Arizona Cardinals during the 2025 season, vet presence. What do I mean? Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter at Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast at Locked On AZ Cards. Thank you for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen, free wherever you get your podcast, and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn notifications on. You know the drill. Leave a like. If you want to leave a review where reviews are left, that's cool. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen, Spotify, Amazon, cool. I'm just happy that you're here. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. 9th season hosting this podcast, 15th year in sports media in Phoenix, and I can't understate how excited I am for this season moving forward. Everything is in line to see once and for all so many things, namely surrounding Kyler Murray, namely surrounding the future of this team and what the first rung on the ladder is going to be to see how high this team can go, how deep this team can go in the playoffs, not just this year, but beyond. Rookies obviously play a major role. Second-year guys, third-year guys obviously play a major role. But I wanted to centralize today around the vets, namely three: Budda Baker, Calais Campbell, and James Conner. Okay. Now, any of these conversations, you just take Kyler Murray out of it because he's a quarterback. It's not really fair. It's like, who's the most important player on the team? It's like, what's a quarterback? Okay. So we just kind of take that out. These three gentlemen play three different positions, have three different skill sets, and all share one wildly massive thing in common. They are the dictionary definition of what you want a leader on and off the field to be for your team. Calais Campbell, obviously the elder statesman. I'll talk about it in the second segment. James Conner in the third. Talked about the run game a lot yesterday, so I kind of wanted to back end that and talk more about the first two guys first. With Budda Baker specifically, we've never witnessed Budda Baker on the Arizona Cardinals truly just able to play his own position. Now, that's kind of muddy and kind of clouded because he does a bunch of different things. He's got some Tyrann Mathieu in him. They're different guys, but they have the same motor. They are the same kind of special. Tyrann Mathieu's way more turnover rich than Budda Baker has been in his career. But I think a lot of it is predicated upon the other 10 guys that Budda Baker's been playing defense with for pretty much the majority of his career here. Budda Baker's never had a full cornerback room. He's never had a full cornerback room plus pass rush. He's never had a full cornerback room plus full pass rush at the same time. Ever. He's never witnessed two cornerbacks of merit in the same year on the same team. Ever. Until last season. So what do I expect from Budda Baker and the vet leadership, the vet value that he's going to provide? I would not be shocked if this was his best year ever. Best year ever. Everything's lining up for that. Oh, he's almost 30. He's an old guy. Dude, he plays like he's 12. He plays with a reckless abandon love for the game you could only wish. He's Russell Westbrook. It doesn't matter. He's going to go. He's going to put his body on the line. He's going to make plays, and he's going to wreak havoc on opposing offenses and offensive coordinators. And now he finally has the foundation in place to be able just to play free safety, to be able just to be him and go make other position groups stronger with support and not having to cover up for wildly gaping holes of talent on a roster that Steve Keim couldn't build. And say what you want about Steve Keim or not Steve Keim, he was terrible at building defensive rosters. He just was. They never had two really pro-level corners at the same time. Patrick Peterson was waning in 2017 when Budda Baker got drafted. Or 2017. 2018? Brandon Williams Marco Wilson, Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy had no shot. He's been great in Minnesota because he's actually got a team around him. Byron Murphy's rookie year, Patrick Peterson got popped for PEDs, and Byron Murphy had to be CB1. He was statistically the worst cornerback that year, I believe. I think he gave the most touchdowns. Maybe that's what it was. It was years ago. Budda Baker has never had the ability to just be free, to just roam the defensive side of the ball. Ball hawk, get behind the line of scrimmage, drop in coverage, bracket, whatever it is. He's got 10 dudes, well, technically 9, but 10, in front of him that build this cohesive unit with a talent level as such, just allow him to eat, which is terrifying for opposing offenses. I don't care what his age is. Are you kidding me? On top of that, is there a better mentor for the young dudes in the cornerback room, the safety room with Adrian Taylor-Demerson and Keaton Crawford than him? Truly. A dude who has lived the worst of the Arizona Cardinals. He's lived the worst. He's come out on the other side, and look at what is in front of them. There are great defensive players, great leaders across the league, of course. But Budda Baker is the OG Arizona Cardinal on this roster. He's been through it. He got his contract extension, the first one. Things were on the up and up. And then requested a trade for a second. That was obviously a ploy. They ended up giving him his cheese, and then they gave him more money this offseason. Everything is working in a way that shows that Budda Baker's not going to play it down for another team. He wants to be here. He wants to thrive. He wants to lead these young guys. Except for, and I've said this pretty much for the last 5 years, he'll probably end up in Seattle for a year. Pacific Northwest, went to UW. I wouldn't be shocked if he ended up in Seattle for a year as a swan song, but that doesn't really count. He's got many years to go before retiring. I could see him play till 33, 34. But Budda Baker's above Calais Campbell, above James Conner. This is his team. This is it. He's the vocal leader. He's the lead by example leader. He's the perfect culmination of both infused into one very, very special individual. And putting him over the top with Garrett Williams and Will Johnson and Max Melton and a pass rush and Mac Wilson in the middle of the field, woo, could be something really special. Calais Campbell decided to come home. I was shocked. And it spoke volumes. And I mentioned something that I'll reiterate on the other side. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are bonkers. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. You catch last night's game? Minnesota and OKC? Crazy. Whether it's game-winning shot or breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. So this is what you should do. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Please go to the YouTube channel. Search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. My buddy Bo Brock going to join me tomorrow. Feel like I should do some charity work. Have my buddy on. The vets are going to have a massive impact this year. And it's not just from the sidelines raw status. Calais Campbell could have signed with 31 other teams. If he would have went to Cleveland and goes, hey, I want to sign with you guys. Be like, okay, cool. We'd love to have you. Miami wanted to keep him. Atlanta wanted to keep him the year before. Baltimore didn't want to see him go. The dude is, again, the dictionary definition of everything you want an on and off the field leader to be. He's got a great demeanor. He's great at football still at his, quote, advanced age. And the beauty of the situation that he's come into, adding Josh Sweat, having Darius Robinson really on his rookie season next year, drafting Walter Nolan, having Dante Stills, having Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones, and having the dudes on the outside with, Baron Browning and David Collins, B.J. Ojolari coming back to complement Josh Sweat he wasn't brought in to Hail Mary save the position. It's one of my favorite things to say. It's a great position to be in for rookies and for vets, for rookies and for like older vets. Like he wasn't brought in like Terrell Suggs, like, hey, come in and save the pass rush, save the backer room. It's like he's going to be in a perfect situation to be able to make an impact, teach, mentor, and keep the floor raised enough on the interior of the defensive line to allow the rest of the defense to eat. He's going to be a cog in the machine. And you know what the beauty of being a 6'8", 330-pound cog in the machine is? He's not going to see nearly as many double teams as he had in his career. So he can definitely make an impact collapsing the pocket from the interior. Batted balls, pressures, QB hits. It's what he does. It's what he's done at a high level. And if you say so for Budda, say it's like 70-30. Importance on the field. 80-20. Importance on the field to locker room stuff. Calais is like 60-40. I think that's fair. He's 10 years older than Budda Baker. He's almost 10 years older than James Conner. I think James Conner's 30. His impact was shown by choosing the Arizona Cardinals. And for those that are haters of the Arizona Cardinals organization, think they're never going to win with Michael Bidwell, think all of it blah, 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 blah. Calais Campbell chose to come back to a place that ran him out of town because they didn't see his value 7 years ago. And all he did was go to Jacksonville, usher in Saxonville, Pro Bowler, Baltimore, Atlanta, Miami. Everybody loves him. He's still produced. So the fact that the big dog is coming back at a perfect time in this new version of the Arizona Cardinals in its last stage of becoming Arizona Cardinals 2.0. It speaks volumes. This isn't he left and then the Cardinals did really well for a handful of years. Cliff's still the coach. They made it to a Super Bowl 2 years ago and they won 10 games last year. And he's piggybacking off that. No. Cardinals haven't been over 500 since 2021. But he sees a safe place and a place where he can make an impact and a place where they can win a bunch of games. He could have got the $6 million elsewhere. He could have got more probably. And this is pennies on the dollar for how important Calais Campbell is going to be. Because remember, this isn't a charity case. This isn't Emmitt Smith signing here so he could break the rushing record. This isn't Terrell Suggs signing a 1-year, $7 million deal, not playing, and then going and winning a Super Bowl the same year with the Chiefs. This isn't that. This is much closer to an iteration of J.J. Watt coming in playing here who can play at a high level. J.J. Watt obviously got $20 million a year. I don't think that was a money grab whatsoever. He made Zach Allen's career. The defense was better with him. So this is a 3 or 4 year older version of J.J. Watt, but who will play an integral part in the interior defensive line to be able to spring the young guys on the outside and Walter Nolan and Darius Robinson from the interior. I can't stress enough how important image-wise it is that Calais Campbell came back in time with the Cardinals. It undid a decade of dysfunction. People respect what Calais Campbell does. They respect his choices. They respect him on and off the field. And the fact that he chose the lowly Cardinals who haven't won anything in a long time, and they had all that dysfunction. They ran him out of town because they didn't want to pay him because they were paying Larry Fitzgerald too much money or whatever it was. He came home. He came home. And if that doesn't speak to the difference inside the organization now as compared to years past, you just don't want to admit what's right in front of you. And it's going to be fantastic for the Cardinals next year. Maybe it'll be for 2026 also. Locked on Cardinals, your team every day. Talked about this cat yesterday, James Conner. He's going to play an integral part next year. And it's like, oh, he's a starting running back. Relax. I'll describe what I mean next. Please go to the YouTube channel, search Locked on Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. Budda Baker, on and off the field. He's going to be able to be himself. Calais Campbell, on and off the field. He's going to be able to get some run because he's not going to be seeing double teams as much, especially Walter Nolan and Darius Robinson pop off from the interior. And James Conner, I alluded to this yesterday. It was a good show yesterday. Talked about how to fix the Arizona Cardinals offense. And James Conner, less is more in 2025. And less is more, not meaning, less than 200 touches and he's going to have 700 carries or 700 yards and, 12 touchdowns because you're just going to front load inside the 10-yard line rushes and let Trey Benson do the rest. No. James Conner's sewn up for the next 2 seasons. I know it's a 3-year, it's 2-year. And Trey Benson's there. It's not ready and waiting. He's not on deck. He's maybe in the hole. He's maybe first off the bench. Talking baseball terms. But this is James Conner's backfield still. With that, the value James Conner is going to be able to bring is much more than just when he touches the ball. Okay. This is more of a mentor thing for me. You think James Conner cares about somebody taking his job? James Conner is not going to lose the job. And also, James Conner is such a team guy that he doesn't care if he gets 10% less touches than he did last year. He knows that in this system, he can eat. He knows in this system, he can score a lot of touchdowns. And I do believe that Drew Petzing, in between the 20s, will use Trey Benson a lot more than he did last year. 4.6 yards a carry. I know it seems counterintuitive to say that Budda Baker and James Conner, both who just got contract extensions, may have less of more James Conner than Budda Baker, less of a quote unquote statistical impact after getting the extension. It's not about that. It's about where the touches are. It's about longevity. It's about needing him for all 17 weeks at as close to full speed as possible, while being able to keep the ball bouncing on offense when he's not touching the ball. That's the elixir. That's what it is. Who knows? Maybe Taylor-Demerson will step in and take some Budda Baker snaps this year. Maybe he's not going to be playing 98% of the snaps. Who knows? But it can't be understated what Budda Baker, Calais Campbell, and James Conner are going to be able to do for this team in between the lines and in the locker room and everything in between. James Conner, another dude. We're going to get close. We're going to get close, especially if he plays this contract out. Maybe he plays till 2029 with the Cardinals, 2028. People are going to forget that he played for the Steelers. James Conner wants to be here. James Conner loves it here. That's not what we've witnessed with this team ever, by and large. So when you look at James Conner going into 2025, after another 1,000-yard season, he had 8 touchdowns, which was, on the lower side. But I see his value skyrocketing while his numbers go down. And I think that's something that isn't counterintuitive. The value of when he touches the ball is going to be at a premium. Let the young kid eat in Trey Benson. Unless he can't, we've seen plenty to show that he could, especially in this offense. Maybe fold in some Michael Carter, okay? If the rush attack is going to be what you lead with, and I think it should be, even though I think they do need to kind of meet in the middle with the pass game, put the ball in Kyler Murray's hands more, not in the rush attack and the throw in the passing attack. The value of James Conner is going to skyrocket because because we've seen it. He is so special in moments where the Cardinals gotta have it. He is so special in moments where the Cardinals got to have it, especially inside the 5-yard line. One of my favorite things to say on this show, and since being in sports radio, some players have a nose for the end zone and some don't. Ezekiel Elliott, nose for the end zone. Still. Gets low, does the bicycle kicks, and he's in. James Conner inside the 5-yard line is as good as cash. That's not always. Ask Kenyon Drake. Ask Latavius Murray. Guys like that where it's like, wait, you should be able to get in the end zone from there. Why not? James Conner and Budda Baker are the leaders of this team. Everyone follows Kyler Murray, as they should. Budda Baker and James Conner are the glue that brings all 22 starters together. Throwing in Calais Campbell as an honorable mention could be a lot worse. Alex Nancy, Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.